All right, this is Steve Parente, and today we are going to demonstrate how to make pickled vegetables. And I'm going to do a kimchi style, and I'll show you how I do it. It's not totally traditional, but it is, I think you'll find it's pretty good. And you can alter your own recipe. You're going to find that this type of preserving is very easy to do. And it's good for you. Probiotics and fermented foods are good for your stomach, and it helps absorb nutrients. And in my opinion, many people believe that also helps the immune system. And it's good to eat several types of probiotics or fermented foods during your normal week. Fermented foods have been around for thousands of years, and it can be done without refrigeration. And I'll show you how I do it. It's very simple. Now I'm going to start out, I'm starting out with everything all cut up, but I'm going to show you some of the ingredients that I started with. I use coarse chopped ingredients. That's the way I like it. I've got bok choy. I have napa cabbage or Chinese cabbage. I have a bunch of kale. I have daikon, which I've already got chopped up. And I have a couple of Japanese cucumbers. And I like Japanese cucumbers because they maintain their crunchiness. And I'm also using about a 2 to 3 inch piece of ginger that I've chopped up, and I'm going to show you that for flavoring. So you can see the daikon here, very coarsely chopped. I have the cucumber, again, fairly large pieces. All right. I also have 1 bulb of garlic which I've chopped up very coarsely. The ginger, again, I've cut up coarsely. I have 1 bunch of green onions that I've chopped up fairly fine, but again, it doesn't have to be. And I also have some sea salt, and I have some Korean red peppers, dried red peppers. And then I like a little heat with my kimchi or pickled vegetables, and so I've got the Hawaiian chili peppers, or I also have some of the Thai chili peppers. I've got about 16 of them, so it's not too hot, but you can add more or less. You don't even have to add chili peppers if you don't want to. So let's go over this one more time. I have several vegetables. It looks like I have a lot here, but you're going to find out that this reduces quite a bit. So I'm using kale, a bunch of kale. I'm using bok choy. I'm using a head of napa cabbage. I'm using Japanese cucumbers. I'm using daikon, or the Japanese radish. And I'm using ginger, bulb of garlic, and a bunch of green onions. Now you can use whatever you want. The beauty of this is that you use whatever's in season, and I'm using organic ingredients, and I get them locally at the Hilo Farmers Market. I get to know the farmers that are down there, and the other ingredients I get is from a couple of health food stores in Hilo. I believe it's important to use organic products because just like the bacteria that helps your stomach, helps you absorb nutrients. It's important that the soil is built up and that helps absorb nutrients also. Commercial farming, they only put a few things back into the soil, and that depletes all of the phytonutrients that and macronutrients that should be available in the soil. Organic farming puts that back into the soil, and it's more healthy. And just the act of fermenting helps you absorb nutrients and vitamins and minerals from the vegetables. So I'm also using glass or ceramic jars, and these easy to open, clamp down. And I'm using this big wooden pestle, which we're going to use to help tamp down the vegetables. Now, before I start this, what we're going to do is we're going to take and sprinkle lightly salt a little bit over the vegetables, and I'm going to kind of mix everything together. And then what I'm going to do is, as the salt acts on the vegetables, the juices will come out of the vegetables. I'm going to add some fish sauce also for a little bit of flavor. That's more traditional kimchi. And you'll see that as we go along, this will start to reduce down, and then we'll start packing them into the jars. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start out with a stainless steel pan here, and I'll just start mixing some of these ingredients in here. So I got my daikon, I've got some cucumbers. Now I'm going to start adding in some of my vegetables, my other leafy vegetables. And I'm just going to kind of mix them up. A little bit of the onions, okay, and garlic, and ginger. And then I'm just going to use a pinch of salt. This is a little bit different than what some other recipes might call for. I just use just a little bit of salt, just a teeny bit to taste. The beauty about pickled vegetables is that you can let this go for 3 days to 2 weeks. Let it be fermenting, and this will keep for a long time, and you'll be able to use this in other dishes or just straight. So I'm going to continue to do this, and I'll keep layering this. And then in a couple of minutes, I'll show you that this will start reducing, and then we'll start adding it into our containers. We'll start tamping it down, and we're tamping it down to get rid of air pockets. Okay, we're layering this in. I'm going to add a little bit of fish sauce. Okay, and then I'm going to start kind of massaging these vegetables together. This will help bring out the juices. Okay, and then I'll just continue to keep layering everything in. A little bit of vegetables, a little bit of salt, a little bit of red pepper, Korean peppers, garlic, other ingredients, green onions, and just keep working it in. All right, after a few minutes, you're going to see that the juice from the vegetables are going to start coming out, and everything's going to start wilting. I mean, look at, I've only got now this much left of my original batch of leafy vegetables. Okay, can you see that? So what I've done is I've continued to pack this down, and I've been massaging it and moving it around and mixing it up. And the juices from the vegetables are starting to come out now. All right? And so this is what we want to do. We just want to lomi this, or that's lomi is another word for massage, lomi in Hawaiian. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start doing next is I'm going to start taking this and putting it in the jar. So what I'm going to, so I'll just move this out of the way here. And I'll open up my jar. Okay, and now I'm going to start transferring these vegetables into the jar, into my first jar. Okay. And then as I do this, as I get it loaded up, and I want to make sure that I kind of mix everything together in here well, so everything's kind of homogeneous. Okay, so now I'm going to start tamping this down into the bowl, or into my jar. And what this will do is this will start to, this will get rid of air pockets and help the vegetables to start bringing their juices out, or sweat their juices out. And you'll find that the vegetables will start to give up their juices, and this is what you actually want to happen. You want the juices to cover the vegetables completely, and this is going to prevent any other stray yeast cells or bacteria or anything else from getting into your batch. And this is a very safe way of creating or preserving your own vegetables. So I've been working on this now for about 10 minutes, and I'm really pressing this down into the jars, and you can see that I've got 2 jars that are fairly full, and I'm going to continue to do this. I may need a 3rd jar, but I don't think so. This is all I got left. As this starts to reduce in these jars, the juice will come out, and then that will cover the vegetables. And then what we'll do is we'll cap this loosely and then let it set for at least 3 days, up to 2 weeks. It depends on how strong, how sour you want the taste. All right, so I'm going to continue here, and we'll see if we'll get it all in 2 jars or whether I'm going to need a 3rd one. Whoop! It can get a little messy if you're not careful. It looks like it's going to be just 2 jars. So I'm going to scrape out the rest here, all the good chili peppers and all the other ingredients, and I'm going to drop that right into my jars here. Get around here so you can see. There we go. Okay. So I'm being pretty firm about this. I'm really tamping it down. You want to get as much of the air pockets out as possible, and so that you get a good covering over all your vegetables, and then your fermenting will go just fine. So this whole operation took about half an hour to make enough kimchi or pickled vegetables to last for several weeks, probably, unless you know, you really like it. But this is all you got to do, and it's fresh, and it's good for you. The probiotics, good bacteria, is very good for your digestive system, and you know what's in it. I'm using organic products here at the Hilo Farmers Market, and you know, so many things that we do these days kills the bacteria in our stomach, such as antibiotics, and certain alcoholic drinks will cause problems with the bacteria in your stomach. So this is a good way to not only eat healthy, get a lot of good nutrition, but also feed the bacteria, the beneficial bacteria in your gut. So what I'm going to do now is I will continue to tamp this down, and the juices will come out, and then I will just very lightly cap these and let that go for about 3 days at least, and more for my taste. My wife, she doesn't like it so sour. I can go 2 weeks easy and it'll be fine. But we have 2 jars. I can have mine, she can have hers. All right, so until the next video, aloha from Hilo, Hawaii.